Hi, this is Barbara. Another night. Okay, so here we are. It's after midnight. It was March 21st. I can't seem to get to this table till after midnight. So actually it's March 22nd, but I'm going to mark it March 21st. So March 22nd, it is my birthday right now. I didn't realize until I started this. So happy birthday, me. And oh my God, I'm 73 today. Ay, 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 ay. Oh gosh. So, I have so much that I plan for you, and I'm always on the floor writing on my pads. And I'm always ready. I guess something about the camera just gets me nervous. So here I am, Barbara Fiabetta. And let's see, we left off last night. I wish I was on Zoom, guys, because I am really spelling words wrong, really correctly. I make sure that I take a brain MRI at least once a year because I have, this is not a very positive statement, but I'm always concerned because the stress that that I have dementia, Alzheimer's, when I start forgetting things. And my neurologist has confirmed and continues to confirm I'm just stressed out. And other than my brain shrinking a little, which disturbs me, but I heard that happens, that there's no sign of dementia or Alzheimer's or anything organic. Excuse me, but I haven't seen her for quite a few months. So maybe it's time to check in. Gosh. So I'm still trying to hone in on my algorithm. As I said yesterday, I don't see myself here for the masses. Really, excuse me, I am in a really bad room and I can't stand the hoarseness in my throat. And 20 minutes and it's already there. So anyway, I hate reading. That's what the problem is I want to look at my notes and I don't want to. I just want to talk to you, but I do need some reference. I feel like the people that God has purposed me to support and help are the ones who have gone through what I've gone through and possibly worse, definitely prior to me. And I was reviewing with you yesterday that as someone who's watched my own blue-collar worker parents, my inner city students and their parents, people who have left their churches discouraged and some very fed up and disconnected from source, disconnected from God somewhere along the line, or never were connected. And I feel like I'm being called to support you based on my experience of God, particularly in the last 15 years, that, as I said to you before, I really should be dead. Based on circumstances, based on people, based on energies coming towards me, circumstances, etc. And I was being marched through every hurdle, and every day was a nightmare. It's not like I was coasting. Every single day was a nightmare. So I can't believe I'm here, really. So I know that somewhere inside me, I know that I am to share my gifts and my knowledge out of gratitude for God saving me and giving me an opportunity that I never expected to call out my betrayers and expose them And this whole thing about forgiving and forgetting is not for me right now. I think there comes a time when someone relentlessly and deliberately and consciously harms you. It has to be exposed. Or you're setting up other people to have the same experience, which is what happened. I wasn't the only one. But, so anyway, so I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to reconnect anyone who is quitting, giving up, hiding, like I did, feeling lost, feeling separated from everyone, particularly spirit, is I would like to help and support you to reconnect in any way possible. And I'm just going to share my experiences and a massive amount of tools that I have amassed, unbeknownst to me until I get ready to do these. So yeah, and I have to tell you, this has nothing to do with, I just heard the funniest joke, and that's why I can't focus. There is this woman on Facebook. She's a very beautiful woman, but she dresses like an old lady. I don't know what her name is to tell you, but so I just, whenever I put this on, there's always something on Facebook that comes up. And so in her old lady language, she says, I used to cook for men when I should have poisoned them. And you and you have to hear how she does this. She's hysterical. She is on every single day, and she is brilliantly funny. I'll have to get her name for you. Yeah, she dresses with this thing over her head and glasses, and she's very beautiful, but she makes herself really, really old. So what does that have to do with anything? So how many times have you wished that you should have poisoned them instead of cooking for them? And I have another story, but I'll wait. You know me and my stories. So, yes, so my audience, I believe, are people who are very sensitive, autistic, empathic, very much full of loving, and are targets for narcissists, are targets for negativity in the atmosphere, as well as negativity coming from people. And I have been pretty clear on protecting ourselves. God protects us, but he wants us, it's up to us to do it. He doesn't just come down and just do all this magic wand stuff for us. So protecting our lights, that one gem, the most important relationship that we could have and should and could create, as opposed to any other relationship, which is human. And humans are unreliable. It's the human nature. The mind is unreliable. The emotions are unreliable. And the body, you never know what's going to happen with the body. I mean, I'm on a walker. Did I ever expect this? Never. So anyway, having a bright light, I think, requires a lot of self-protection. So that's one of my beefs, that I feel the spiritual paths are not really addressing in attempts to do the toxic positivity, which we talked about last night. And I am going to go back to that. When I talked to you yesterday about spiritual suffocation, you should see how I spelled it. SUFFI. And I looked at it tonight and I said, that can't be right. I had to look it up in the dictionary. It's SUFFO. But I was mainly talking about outer spiritual suffocation. When we're in situations where we're in a cult, or we're in a family, or we're in a school, or we're at a job where there is this unstated box that you are supposed to be living in. And they somehow love bomb you into thinking that you're free, but you're not. You're in a box. And the way you know is when you're in this box and you just say something or do something that kind of, boop, just pushes against their invisible boundaries that they don't claim, they don't state, and they actually hide it and deny it. But you know when you hit that, you are going to get some kind of retaliation. And tiny in the beginning, big at the end when you start to realize who you are. So I was making the point about all the fluff and toxic positivity and love and light and being brainwashed with all this stuff, which is true. God's qualities are loving and light. But if you start moving into, and I'm reading, breathing really fully and expanding who you are and being extremely creative, you know I have a mirror in front of me, being extremely creative, and you stand out in the crowd and you're telling your truth, it's not appreciated in a lot of toxic places. It's usually because there is someone or someone's very much into control and power and ego. And they don't want anyone rising. They need everybody to stay down here so that they can feel higher than everybody. And so I put down the 3 qualities are usually they will shame you in some way. They will make you feel guilty that you aren't this pure spiritual person. And they will silence you as you're about to share. I have someone who I've tried to share 6 times in a situation, and before I'm 5 minutes into the sharing, 5 seconds, we're moving on now, Barbara. So I'll get to that one day. We're moving on now, Barbara. Only me. And humiliation. I've been through the humiliation as well. So there's just so much coming up. I am so in alignment with my passion project and doing these podcasts with you that my stuff, new stuff is coming up for me to work on. So when that happens, I know that I'm doing something right. And I did ask for a sign this morning before I left this crazy place. And I found a penny on the floor, on the ground. I used to find pennies a lot. And I always saved them. Even before I knew about spirituality, I somehow knew that this is an angel. This little penny is an angel saying, I'm here, I'm with you, and this is perfect timing. So this is my little penny, but it's so dirty. I can't read the year. And I don't know, didn't they say they were going to discontinue pennies? I hope not. I mean, really, how can you get rid of this cute penny? So, should I go over to my thing, or should we pray first? I think we'll pray first. I've been bringing forward all kinds of different ways to pray. I really, forgive me, my throat. And my opinion is that really God knows what's in our hearts and feels that yearning and that tug of what we really want and what we really need and responds to that vibration. But the word level, I think, is more for us to align our minds and our emotions with God's qualities. So there is definitely value for affirmations, for doing prayers. So I've gone through the Science of Mind prayer procedure with you a few times. I modified it. But this one that I'd like to do is called disidentification. And, what's his name? Roberto Assagioli, Italian gentleman who worked at the same time as Freud, but he had a very different perspective. He wasn't looking at what was wrong with the person. He was looking at the wholeness, all the levels, and how to get all of that into alignment. He also had a method of disconnecting, I shouldn't say disconnecting, not identifying with the mind and the emotions and the body as much as we do, to really understand that we are souls. We are these little gods. Like, I'm a little soul, you're a little soul, and that's God energy. And as we go lower and lower and lower into the density of this 3D dimension, we pick up a mind, we pick up a set of emotions, we pick up a body, but those are not pure like the soul. They're not perfect like the soul. You know, when your mind just goes all over the place, your emotions are all over the place, the body's all over the place. So he had a procedure which, like I said, I don't have my books anymore, so I had to really, really struggle to remember how he did it. So I am going to read this, but I would like to suggest that you close your eyelids and just listen to me. But whatever you like. So I'll just call in the light, Father, Mother, God. Just now we come to you once again, and we stand before you in all our spiritual glory and all our human imperfection. And we know that you accept us just as we are. Okay, so I'm going to start this. So I am a soul. Try to just listen, not look. I am a soul. I am not my mind or my thoughts. My mind is for thinking, for analyzing, and understanding. So I am not my mind. I am not my emotions. My emotions are experiences that move through me. Emotions move through me. I am not my emotions. I am not my body. My body is an instrument through which I move and act on this 3D plane of consciousness. So keep your eyes closed. So far we've just done some deductive reasoning. We're not the mind. We're not our emotions. We are not our bodies. So what are we? We are the observers of the mind, the emotions, and the body. So I'm going to do that again and stay with it. I am not my mind. My mind is for thinking, for analyzing, and understanding. I am not my emotions. My emotions are for experiences to move through me. I am not my body. My body is an instrument through which I move and act in this world, in the three-dimensional process. So what's left? The observer that part of me that is right now observing me, reading this to you. The I am, which is a journey in itself to discover. There's an I am consciousness that is observing all this. So now you can open your eyes. To the degree that you can identify, let's say we, let me include me, to the degree which we can identify with ourselves as the soul, the I am consciousness that's out here observing the God in us, to that degree that I can live in that place, I am not bound by my mind, my emotions, and my body. So the training in all spiritual paths, psychological paths, is to disidentify and not disconnect, but disidentify that I am my mind, that I am my emotions, that I am my body. So an example, if I'm sad, we would want to switch our self-talk from I want to get this right. The old Barbara would say, I am sad. What he's suggesting is, my emotions are sad right now. So Barbara, the I am consciousness, the God is not sad, is not sad. So let's use the mind. The old Barbara would say, I am thinking I'm going to fail my test tomorrow. The Barbara that identifies with the soul would say, my mind thinks it's going to fail the test tomorrow. So you take it all away. I'm pausing because I'm searching for words. Some things just don't have words. I'm repeating myself. To the extent that I can stay in this heart, and I'm using it as my soul, is the extent to which I can keep my mind in peace, keep my emotions in peace, keep my body in peaceful health. Because as long as I'm doing this in my mind and this in my emotions and, all worried about my body, I cannot stay in alignment with the spiritual heart here. So that's just another way of bringing through the Spirit of God, is to start with, I am a soul. And right away you set up your intention is, I am a soul. And right now I'm going to disidentify with the mental realm, the emotional realm, and the physical body. The more we're able to do that, to disidentify with those levels, the more neutral we become mentally, emotionally, and in our physical bodies. And the more we walk around in our soul energy or our soulic energy, which is the goal. It's to remember that we are souls. We are not the mind, the body, and the emotions. Those are for the purpose of learning and getting our lessons on planet Earth. They're tools, but it's not who we really are. We are, I like to say, little gods. We're not the big God, but we are little gods. So that's another way to bring through the light of God. That's another way, besides putting things in the light, besides doing the Science of Mind prayers. And, there's so many ways. There is no one right way to pray at all. I'm just bringing in some new tools for you if they help you. So Assagioli, that's his name. It's an Italian name, Roberto Assagioli. He teaches psychosynthesis. He has great books. I had them all, but now I'm having to draw a memory. So let's say to that, thank you, God. We are grateful. And so it is. And now we can get into our lessons. So, okay. So yesterday we were talking about outer spiritual suffocation. What I didn't talk about, and almost forgot, was we, at some point in our spiritual evolution, we have to stop blaming the outer world. But it is the place to start. Well, it was for me. If you guys know how to jump to spirit like that, go for it. Bypass me. Just bypass me. But I had to learn about how the outer world worked first before I could work on my inner world. I have a friend, he had this great quote, and don't you guys take it. It's anonymous, and I don't remember his name, and I'm giving him credit. He had lunch one day, and he said to me, we have to learn to become human before we become divine. We have to learn to become human before we can become divine. And that made so much sense to me. Is how can I remember myself as a divine being if I'm all confused about this being, this blob, this consciousness that I am? I thought it was brilliant. So one of these days I'll remember the name. But we have to become human before we become divine. And based on that, when we talked about the spiritual suffocation, I was focusing us on outer influences, suffocating us. Cults, relatives, anyone who's trying to keep us in the box, the matrix, the government, etc. Now, to go deeper would be to look at the inner suffocation. Where do we suffocate ourselves? So some people would do this reverse, but I like to do it this way. So I wrote it down, and I'll show you my little pad. Inner suffocation, keeping ourselves small, forgetting what the world's doing to us, just what we do to ourselves. The first one I wrote was self-hate. If we are hating any part of ourself, we are disconnecting from spirit. We're disconnecting from ourselves. So how can we connect to spirit? We have to be lined up first. Another inner suffocation would be self-judgment. When I'm judging myself, I'm not doing this right. I'm not wearing the right blouse. I'm not living in the right place. I'm not doing anything right. It could get extreme. Guys, how we judge ourselves. So self-judgment is another way to separate from ourselves and thus separate from spirit. Another inner suffocation would be fear. When we're in fear, we're out of alignment. We're not in our truth. We don't remember who we are, and we're scared. And that's suffocating in itself. When we're in fear, we can barely learn a new task. We're frozen and we can't move forward. So fear would be another inner suffocation. The other one would be, there's plenty. I put self-betrayal. If I promise myself and I commit to do this passion project that most of you don't even know about, if anybody's listening, because I haven't advertised it. If I promise myself I'm going to do it, and then I don't, I am betraying myself. It would be the same like a husband betraying me, or a lover, or a teacher. It would be me betraying me. I'm not keeping my commitment to myself. So that would be another way of inner suffocating myself and staying disconnected from myself and from spirit. I put one more down. Okay, another inner suffocation I put was not going for our dreams. You know, yesterday I talked about, you know, all these people that have blocked me and tried to keep me small. Every time I would expand, they try to push me back in. I expand, they try to push me back in. Yes, that did happen. But, you know, I had dreams all my life, but I wasn't always going for them. I went for a lot of them, but there's still a lot I haven't gone for. And there were times when I just didn't go for my dreams. I didn't honor them. And that was me suffocating me. So there is the outer and there is the inner, that we have to look at both. So I will go to the chart now and show you what I wrote. And I have to turn this camera. I'm getting good at this. Okay, here we go. Okie dokie. So that's the chart from yesterday. And if you see my my spelling, I've got papers all over the floor here, guys. Okay, get my little walker here. Okay, so look at how I spelled suffocation. S-U-F-F-I. It should be an O. Okay, and I put outer. And today I put inner. Hello. I like to say hello. Inner self-suffocation. And just repeating myself, self-hate, self-rejection, self-denial, not going for dreams, and fear. And we could keep on going. So if anybody's taking notes for any reason, I'll be repeating all this. So now we're looking at, where do we suffocate ourselves? Now I'm going to bring this one down. Okay, so this is another whole topic. I'm coming back around. Coming back. I feel like I'm in a real classroom with my little kids in second grade. Oh my God, can you imagine 35 kids in 6 rows? That's how the classrooms were in New York City. I never sat at my desk. I was never still. I was always walking up and down the aisles, sitting next to them, always moving. So this chart, well, I should show it to you again first. Okay, let me show it to you first. This is so professional, isn't it? Okay, so that is a spiral on the top. And the point I'm making about the spiral is consciousness. Our consciousness is not static. It's a continual spiral, up and up and up and up, and just keeps on going and going and going even beyond death. So we're always learning. And the reason I made that is, well, I do have to go back and show you something. Okay, I want you to look at this pink dot right here. I have this pink dot right here. Okay, and I just want you to focus on that. But I'm just going to put a little one down here. Don't pay attention to that one now. Okay, I think I just have to stand here. No, I got to tell you the story. I'm going back. So keep in mind the pink dot, and then I'll tell you the story. Okay, so story first. I had a crush on someone. I must have been, I want to say 35, 37, somewhere in there. A musician, of course, a musician. I have this thing for musicians. What woman doesn't? And I met him at a gig. My friends were playing, and he was new to the group. And we just were talking, and nothing, just very sweet, very nice. And then we all went out to dinner after. We were on Santa Monica Boulevard in Los Angeles, and we're all sitting. In fact, I was just meeting some of these people, and we're all sitting at this very long table. And I'm sitting across from the main singer, who's a hoot in herself, and I will have her sing for you one day. And so he's sitting right next to me. So of course everybody's ordering, everybody's loud, everybody's crazy, and I was kind of shy because I was new. I was I was the groupie. That's what I was. I was the groupie. I wasn't the singer. I wasn't a musician. I was the groupie. I'm a great groupie. So we're sitting next to each other and had this great conversation. I don't remember what it was, but it was just really nice conversation. And then I was following this group already to all the clubs, and he was new. So somewhere along the line, I got such a crush on him. And I'm talking crush. I don't know that I ever had a crush before. It was like, I don't even want to call it love. It was just a crush. I thought he was so cute, and I don't know how to explain a crush. How do you explain a crush? I don't know if it's adoring or whatever, but whenever he would get on stage, I would just think, oh, he's so adorable, and he's so cute. And I guess there was a kind of wanting to be with him. Is that a crush? I don't even know. So this went on for a while. It was irrational. It felt very irrational to me because there was nothing there. You know, there was no overture to me. I wasn't making overtures to him. It was just acquaintances. Then we did become friends a little bit, but it was an irrational crush. And so I'm speeding it up. One day, I remember clearly, I'm in a pizza shop because they had the red and white tablecloths. And I'm in Venice Beach restaurant, coffee shop, whatever it was. And I was just sitting there miserable. I was miserable. It was like, God, get this guy out of my head. Like, what is this? Like, I really wanted to know what was that's it. What was the pull? There was a pull that I felt from him. And I don't believe he was doing anything to do that. I mean, he got married like within months. He was planning on getting married. But I couldn't understand what this pull was. And I was really upset because it was disturbing my consciousness. And it went on for a while. Even after he was married and I didn't see him, there was still these thoughts about him. And I really needed to know the answer, and I wasn't getting the answer. Okay, so I put that pink dot up there on the spiral because in time, that's where I was with him, on that spiral, in that time. Eventually, you know, it wore off. About 2 or 3 years later, I'm going through some pictures of mine when I was in 5th and 6th grade. So help me God, there is a picture of a guy in my 5th grade class. I won't shout out his last name, but his name was Ronnie. And I looked at the picture and I took a double take. He looked exactly like this gentleman that I have this crush on at about 37 years old. And it was like a flash. It's like, oh my God. I had such a crush on Ronnie Ronald in the 5th grade because he played the piano. Even the musician thing was going on back then. He played the piano. Here I'm in 5th grade, and we got to hear him play because we all used to hang out together. I had such a crush on Ronnie in 5th grade. They looked exactly the same. Like brothers. And the light bulb went off. It's like, oh my God. I'm thinking that this guy, the musician, at 37 years old, that I'm so attracted to, but I can't even use the word attraction. There's such a pull. There was such a pull on me that it was driving me crazy because I was pissed. Like, I don't want to feel this. And then when I saw Ronnie's picture in my 5th grade class, I remember I had such a crush on him. How old were we in 5th grade? I don't know, like 12, 13? I had a terrible crush on him. And those of you, you know, when we're young, we have these crazy crushes, but they're so serious to us. You know, it's like we're going to die if this doesn't come to fruition. So that crush on Ronnie, the piano player in my 5th grade class, manifests in this guy who actually was older than me. I think he was like 42. He used to be a rock musician, and but he looked really different. And that's what, you know, thinking about that, I said, you know, the spiral of consciousness is spirit will bring up a lesson that we've already thought we've learned. Like, let's say I learned this lesson and I think I'm done with it. And then as the spiral happens and it's like 10, 15, 20 years later, that same lesson will come up to see if we learned the lesson or if we have more work to do. So somehow I was holding the energy of this crush on Ronnie from 5th grade. This guy shows up when I'm 37, looks just like Ronnie, you know, so I immediately emotionally went back in time to the 5th grade, to when I had a crush on Ronnie. Now, the one at 37 was irrational. It wasn't rational. But the one at 5th grade was very rational. It was very rational. So the point I'm trying to make in consciousness, and I will turn it around again. You guys can keep up with me. So here I am up here with this, there's a guitar player, up here, not understanding why I have such a crush on him. And then 2 or 3 years later, I see a picture of Ronnie in my little yearbook, and I realized the crush I had on him. And because they looked exactly the same, when I saw this guy, I was really identifying with my 5th grade crush. And it was so intense. So the point I'm trying to make is this consciousness is not a straight line. It just keeps winding and winding and winding. And you know, maybe when I'm 80, I'll run into someone else who looks like these two, and I'll have another crush. So while I'm here and I'm down here, let me just explain another concept. So You know, guys, I hope you're moving with me. I have two girlfriends. We change subjects like in seconds and we can follow each other. So here's another thing that I want you to look at. This is new subject. So here I am. I'm in a class. Let's call it Earth class. It's a straight line. Everybody's in this class. Okay? And in this class, I don't think you can see me. It's okay. In this class of, I'm going to call it in a class of mediocrity, everybody's staying at the same level. Mass consciousness, race consciousness, everybody's just staying here. And all of a sudden, someone jumps up, does something really different, shines their light, does something very different from the norm, and then another person jumps up and does something different from the norm, then another person shoots up even higher from the norm, and then all of a sudden there's three people that jump up out of the norm, and then there's another one. So who do you think are the targets of the cruel and negative people, the insecure people? The people here who are living this straight line every single day, they do the same thing day in and day out. Do you think that they appreciate that this person is shining their light? Do you think that they appreciate that this person is shining their light? Okay, hold it. Didn't plug my mic in, so who knows if you're going to hear anything. So looking at that bottom line, remembering that, the point that I want to make, which was my personal experience, and it goes on every day, hate, cruelty, throwing someone under the rug, it's not done to the people who are just living like this, like flatlined. Jealousy and envy come when someone has a bright light, when someone is creative, when someone stands out from the masses, when someone is dressing differently, speaking differently, doing something differently. Those are the targets of narcissists. And it is the reason that so many of us, and I include myself, make ourselves small. We hide ourselves. We play stupid. We play dumb. I mean, I have all kinds of things in my toolbox on how to stay small, and I know you guys know it well. Why? Just like I've been saying, we want to belong. We don't want to stick out. We want to be liked. We want to be part of the group. And so what do? We flatline ourselves and hold in our creativity. We hold in our loving. We hold in our gifts. We withhold all our glory from ourselves just to belong and not be disliked. And that's been my whole story of my last 15 years, is it took 15 years to finally say, I'm done with this group. I am done. Because I was afraid in the beginning, like other people. We talked about this already, cults. It's like you want to be part of the group, you want to be learning with the teacher, you want to be liked. And I'm not talking needy be liked, needy belonging, just basic belonging. And the fear of sticking out, the fear of standing out from the crowd can be vicious. The crowd that does not want to do the work the inner work that many of us are doing and have done. That crowd does not want to see us succeed. They do not want to see us glow. They do not want us to see us, definitely don't want to see us grow. Why? Because they may just have to get up off their ass and start doing some work to shine. But in reality, they don't want to do the work. And often what they will do is steal the visions and the ideas and the energies of those people that are doing the work and making progress. So one of the reasons I'm doing this podcast is I just know there's people out there like me that have been thrown under the bus many, many times, and it is very difficult to get up when you've been thrown under the bus by certain kinds of groups, where it's not just one person throwing you under the bus, but it's an entire community of naysayers and gossipers. And I guess I'm giving this as an example is this is my audience. My audience, I want to find those people that are hiding, the people that have given up, the people that have quit, the people that, just said, you know what, I'm not going to bother with this anymore. Whenever I stand up and whenever I'm authentic, whenever I'm myself, whenever I'm in my joy, whenever I'm in my loving, there's always someone who has a problem with it. The people who have the problems with us shining have the problem, not us. And so I am determined, especially now on this planet, the people with the bright lights are the ones that are needed right now on this planet. We need them to shine. We need them to give the gifts that they were born with. We need to activate them into fully into their souls. Those are the people that are going to save what crap is going on here in America. That's who is going to be, those are going to be the new leaders. But if they're hiding out of fed-upness and fear and feeling like they're alone, they're not going to come out of the closet. So I guess I'm just saying this passionately is that I feel like that's who I want to serve. Given my experience and knowing what that's like to be thrown under the bus over and over and over again because people were jealous of me. And as I told you, I never understood what the jealousy was. They had more than me. They were prettier than me. They had everything going for them. Why me? Now, I don't want to say this from ego because it's not. But of course, it took me 60 years to figure out that in all my devotion to spirit and studying and praying and meditating, I didn't know that my light was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that light irritates people, particularly people who are possessed by negativity. We become targets. And that's why I've been focusing on protection. It's like we really need to use all the tools we have to protect our light, to protect our energy, because I'm not hiding anymore. I've had it. I am going to shine the brightest that I can be. And I know that's going to irritate people. I mean, I've had it all my life, so it's nothing new. But this time, I'm not going to quit. This time, I'm not going to hide. And as we talked about on another podcast, I had to get to the place where I don't care if I'm rejected, hated, cast out, humiliated. Like, I don't care. I cannot afford to play small anymore. And I believe the same is true for so many of you. It causes sickness, it causes cancer, it causes heart attacks, it causes all kinds of disease. We're not meant to stay in this little ball. We're meant to be bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and to keep expanding. If we are not around people that let us grow and let us be big and let us be bold, we tend to, shrivel. We all need support systems. And as I told you in this church, for me, I didn't even realize how miserable I was until I started this podcast. I am realizing now, I had my little soda, excuse me. I am realizing now that I was really unhappy there. I loved being with my teacher. I loved being in my classes. But overall, in general, there were a handful of people, one in particular, that just made me miserable. And it kicked in badly, which is not really a word, badly, when the teacher died. And then this president went all out into control and power, and like he's running the show. And I became like a main target for him. So it is so important for us to glow and show up and be big. And it may mean being alone and standing alone. I don't think it's forever. I really do believe I'm going to meet my tribe, and I believe I'm going to attract a group of people that want me to be great, just like I want my friends to be great. So I'm calling all of you out there, wherever you are in Earthland, is come out, come out, come out, come out, wherever you are, because I want to support you to be big and to grow and to glow again. And we're going to leave those people behind. Let the dead bury the dead. It's out of the Bible. Let the dead bury the dead. Let them all play and do their games and whatever black magic they do, while we create beauty and change this world. So that was my soapbox for tonight. That was me on my soapbox. So anyway, so just going back to Ronnie, my crush in 5th grade, that is how energy works. It's like this guy 25 years later looks like this person and brings up all this heartfelt emotion that had nothing to do with him. It was just, it was a trigger, that's it. He was a trigger. He triggered that old, maybe pain. I don't know if it was pain, but that crush that I had as a little girl. I mean, I really had a crush on him. I really did. I would follow him everywhere. And of course, beg him to play the piano, wherever there was a piano. So evolution is a spiral. Keeps on going, keeps on going. So if someone, if you get triggered by something, know it's very potentially something from the past that needs to be healed. And I don't know what the healing was with Ronnie, but it's usually something that needs to be healed, and this is a whole nother topic we'll do another time. But I did want to read the protection prayer that I wrote for us. For our shining our lights. And where did I put it? Please be here. Okay, here we go. So, before we end, for the highest and the holiest good for each of us, meaning this may not apply to you. Right now, I'm going to stop. I wrote this dedicated to those of us and you that almost gave up and were fed up with being thrown under the bus. I don't know another term for it. Being put down, humiliated, etc., because these people can't get their shit together, and then they want to make our lives miserable. So, for the highest and holiest good. You can shut your eyelids if you want. Right now, we withdraw our energy from any and all situations, people, circumstances that have harvested our spirit and our energy. Just now, that which has been stolen from us, and I'm talking physical items to energy, to ideas, to intellectual property, that anything that has been stolen from us and is being used by them and utilized by them fall apart right now and return to us. Right now, our characters, reputations are restored to us publicly for all to see. Right now, all harm that's been thrown our way, all negative thoughts that have been thrown our way, all kinds of cultish black magic, coven, whatever these people are into, spells and negative energy be stopped and severed right now. My personal prayer is that no one hears me or sees me that will use this information for harm. I am perfectly fine being invisible. I'm used to it. So I don't need to be seen. I just want to serve you guys. This power of spirit, I do not believe will be given to phonies, to liars, to abusers, to the holier than thou crowd, the better than thou elites, the manipulators, the narcissists, the corporate narcissists, and the political narcissists, and anyone else claiming to hold any kind of spiritual teacher position that is not fully committed and abiding by the stewardship that's been entrusted to them. And I think that was it. That was it. So if that is something that you'd like to work for yourself, you're welcome to it. If it's not, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. So, so I never know how to close other than to say, it's my birthday. And okay, so let me say it positively. I am soul. I am a soul. I am not my age. As Deepak Chopra said, I am timeless and I am ageless. You remember that book he wrote? I had that one too. I am Barbara. I am a pure soul of God. I am timeless and I am ageless and I am youthing and getting younger and healthier from the cellular level all the way out. And so it is. So God bless you guys. Have a good Sunday. I just realized I have to get up early. I will speak to you tomorrow, maybe from the Cheesecake Factory. Okay. That's my annual visit, at least. Okay. Good night, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.